Have you ever wondered if one small habit could quietly undo everything you've built after 70? As we age, we gather wisdom. We've seen life, weathered storms, raised families, and built something out of nothing. But after 70, life doesn't just slow down, it changes. And some of the habits that once seemed harmless can become quietly dangerous. The hardest part? Most people don't even realize it's happening. They think they're just being strong. They tell themselves, "I've always been this way," or "It's too late to change." But sometimes, those old ways begin to wear us down, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. This video is not about blaming or shaming. It's about awareness. It's about protecting your peace, your health, and your dignity. We're going to walk through 5 things you should never do after 70. These insights might just change your mind, and maybe your life. Number 1. Isolating yourself from others. There's a quiet danger that creeps in when you start saying no to gatherings, letting calls go unanswered, or convincing yourself, "I'm fine on my own." Independence is a beautiful thing, but isolation? That's something else entirely. You see, we humans are wired for connection. We don't just enjoy companionship, we need it to stay sharp, stay joyful, and even to stay alive. Countless studies have shown that chronic loneliness can be just as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It raises your risk of heart disease, memory loss, depression, and even early death. And yet, many seniors retreat into silence. Not because they want to disappear, but because life has changed. Friends pass on. Children get busy. The body doesn't move like it used to. And after loss or disappointment, pulling away feels safer. Less pain. Less drama. Less rejection. But there's also less laughter. Less warmth. Less life. Let me tell you about Harold, a 76-year-old who used to be the life of his church group. But after his wife passed, he stopped going. He told himself it was just a break. But weeks turned into months, then years. The calls stopped coming. People assumed he wanted to be left alone. The truth? Harold was longing for someone to reach out. He just didn't know how to come back. Sound familiar? Connection doesn't mean you need to be out every day. It can be something as simple as calling a friend once a week. Joining a group, volunteering once a month, or just sitting outside and talking to your neighbor. It's about reminding yourself that you still matter. Staying connected doesn't just help you feel better, it helps you live better. With joy. With purpose. With love. So if you've been pulling away lately, gently ask yourself. Am I protecting myself, or am I keeping myself from something I deeply need? You might be surprised by the answer. Number 2. Skipping preventive health checkups. One of the biggest mistakes people make after 70 is thinking, if I feel okay, I must be fine. So they skip the checkups. They wait until something hurts. Until they're forced into the hospital. But here's the truth, many of the most serious conditions that affect older adults don't come with pain. High blood pressure. Diabetes. Early-stage cancer. Memory loss. These conditions develop silently. And by the time you feel them, damage is often already done. It's easy to understand why people avoid the doctor. Maybe you're tired of bad news. Maybe it feels like a hassle. Maybe you just don't want to know. But here's the thing, checkups aren't about finding problems, they're about finding opportunities. Opportunities to catch something early. To adjust your path before it's too late. To stay ahead, instead of falling behind. Think of it like this, if your roof is leaking, you don't wait until the whole ceiling collapses. You fix the small crack before it becomes a disaster. Same with your body. So next time your inner voice says, "What's the point?" silence it gently. Because the point is, you're worth protecting. Your health, your strength, your future, they still matter. Let's talk for a moment about your health. Take the story of Judy, a 74-year-old widow. She hadn't seen a doctor in almost 7 years. She felt fine, walked every day, and ate well. In her eyes, there was no need. But one Sunday, during a free church health screening, she hesitantly agreed to have her blood pressure checked. The result? It was dangerously high. Left untreated, it could have caused a stroke or worse. But because of that one simple checkup, Judy started medication early and adjusted her eating habits. Today, she still takes her morning walks, but now, she walks with peace of mind, knowing she's no longer a ticking time bomb. Here's the truth. Your body at 70 isn't the same as it was at 30 or 50. It needs a different kind of care, not just for what's broken, but for what might be quietly changing beneath the surface. Think of preventive health like maintaining a classic car. You wouldn't wait for the engine to seize before checking the oil. You wouldn't ignore a strange noise just because the car still runs. You check it, not because something's wrong, but because you value the ride. And most preventive screenings are simple. Blood pressure, blood work, cancer screenings, eye exams, hearing tests, and maybe a memory check. These aren't lifelong commitments, they're quick moments of awareness that could save your life. So if you're still watching this and finding it helpful, type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and tap the bell icon. Your support helps us keep making videos that inform, inspire, and protect people just like you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, bottling up emotions. One of the most harmful habits after 70 is keeping everything inside. Many older adults were raised in a time where emotions were hidden, where strength meant silence. You didn't talk about feelings. You just carried the weight and moved on. Pain was swallowed. Anger was buried. Grief was hidden away. But here's the reality. Bottling up emotions doesn't make them disappear. It just pushes them deeper, where they slowly begin to wear you down. By the time we reach our 70s, we've lived a full life, full of love, loss, mistakes, joy, and regret. And yet, too many seniors believe it's too late to deal with all that. They think, why open up now? Or worse, no one wants to hear it. But emotional health doesn't retire. In fact, your emotional well-being is more important than ever. Unspoken stress can raise blood pressure. Long-term sadness can weaken your immune system. Buried anger and regret can even lead to chronic inflammation. The body remembers what the mind tries to forget. And that emotional weight? It steals your energy, your motivation, and often, your relationships. From a psychological point of view, we avoid expressing emotions because we're afraid of seeming weak. But here's a quiet truth: vulnerability is not weakness. It's strength. It takes courage to say, "That still hurts. I miss her every day. I wish I had done that differently." These words don't make you fragile. They make you real. And real connection, the kind that heals, always starts with honesty. Take Ron, a 78-year-old veteran. For decades, he never spoke about what he'd been through. He dismissed his nightmares, hid his sadness, and pushed through the pain. Then one day, a neighbor invited him to a small support group. He said that first conversation felt like letting air out of a balloon that had been ready to burst. Today, Ron still carries his past, but it no longer controls him. Whether you're grieving a spouse, holding on to guilt, or just quietly lonely, your emotions need room to breathe. You don't need to see a therapist every week. You just need one safe space to open your heart. That might be a friend, a pastor, a support group, even a journal. Because when you name your emotions, you take their power away. And in that moment, you make space again. Space for peace. For joy. For healing. Not just to survive, but to truly live the years ahead with clarity and heart. Number 4, neglecting strength and balance. Now here's one that many overlook, but it's critical. Neglecting your physical strength and balance after 70 isn't just unwise. It's dangerous. It might not seem like a big deal to skip a few stretches, to sit a little longer than usual, to tell yourself, I've earned this rest. But little by little, that decision to move less, to challenge your muscles less, turns into a serious risk. Because as we age, the greatest danger is not pain, it's falling. Number 4, neglecting strength and balance. Let's talk about something that may seem small but can change your entire future, your strength and balance. After 70, it's not just about how you feel today, it's about how you protect your independence for tomorrow. That's because one of the biggest risks at this age is something people often ignore, until it's too late. Falls. And not just a scrape or bruise, a fall at this age can lead to a serious fracture or even permanent loss of mobility. It's the leading cause of injury and hospitalization for older adults. And here's the thing most people don't realize. It starts quietly. The muscles weaken slowly. The steps become unsure. You might begin avoiding stairs. You start needing help for small tasks. And with every small loss, your confidence fades a little more. This slow decline is called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. It means your legs get weaker. Your posture is slouching. Things like getting out of a chair or walking across the room feel harder. Balance also declines naturally as we age. Our eyes, inner ears, and core muscles all play a role in keeping us steady, and if we don't challenge them regularly, they lose their sharpness. And once that balance is gone, one small trip can change everything. But here's the good news. You can do something about it. Aging doesn't mean giving up your strength. Most of that loss is preventable, or at least manageable. Simple, consistent habits can make all the difference. Strength exercises like sit-to-stands, leg lifts, or light resistance band routines. Balance training, like standing on one foot while brushing your teeth or walking heel-to-toe along a hallway. Gentle movement like Tai Chi, walking, or water aerobics. These aren't extreme workouts. They're daily motions that tell your body, I still need you strong. Let me tell you about Marlene, an 82-year-old who felt wobbly just walking from her kitchen to the living room. She told herself, well, I'm just getting older. That's normal. Until one day, she tripped over a rug and fractured her wrist. After healing, she joined a senior fitness class at her local community center. Within just 2 months of simple, guided exercises, Marlene noticed a huge difference. She was standing taller, walking more confidently, and even sleeping better. She told me, I feel 10 years younger, and I finally feel in control again. So let me ask you. Can you stand up from a chair without using your arms? Can you balance on one foot for 10 seconds? Do you feel steady when you walk, or are you starting to avoid movement? If not, that's not failure. That's your body asking you to pay attention. Because every day you avoid using your strength, is a day your strength quietly fades. If you're still watching and these insights are helping you, please comment number 4 below. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. It helps us keep creating content to guide and support you. Number 5, pretending you're fine when you're not. Here's perhaps the most dangerous habit of all. Staying silent when something feels wrong. You feel a strange ache in your chest. You notice your memory slipping a bit more often. You get lightheaded or confused suddenly. But instead of speaking up, you tell yourself, it's nothing. I'm just tired. I'll be fine. Sound familiar? This kind of silence doesn't come from weakness. It comes from pride, habit, and not wanting to worry others. Many older adults were raised to be tough. To not complain. To carry their burdens quietly, to avoid being a burden themselves. But let me be clear, you are not a burden. And pretending you're okay when you're not can cost you your health, your independence, and sometimes, your life. At this stage of life, the body sends quieter signals. Subtle changes, that dull pain, that little dizziness, those moments of forgetfulness, aren't just part of aging. They could be early warning signs of something much bigger. That chest tightness could be your heart. That dizziness could be low blood pressure. That forgotten name or misplaced keys? It could be more than just getting older. But you can't get help if no one knows you need it. Let me share this with love and honesty. Speaking up doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Because when you catch things early, you have choices. You have options. And most importantly, you still have time. The people around you, your children, your friends, your doctors, they want to help. But they can only do that if you give them the truth. So if something doesn't feel right, don't hide it. Say it. Because your voice might be the one thing that saves your life. If this resonates with you, please comment number 5 below to let me know you're still with us. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. Every video we make is designed to help you live smarter, stronger, and with more peace in the years ahead. Because you still have so much life to live. And we want to help you live it well. Let's talk about what might be the most important habit of all. Pretending you're fine when you're not. It's something we see far too often. You feel a tightness in your chest. You're more tired than usual. You forget things more often, or you feel down more than usual. But instead of speaking up, you brush it off. It's just indigestion. I didn't sleep well. I'll be okay, I always am. This isn't weakness. It's a habit. It's pride. It's not wanting to worry the people you love. But here's the truth, staying silent when something feels wrong doesn't protect anyone. It puts you at risk. And it keeps the people who care about you from being able to help when it matters most. Take George, age 79. He had been feeling chest tightness for weeks, but he kept calling it heartburn. His daughter, worried, insisted he get it checked. That visit likely saved his life. Doctors discovered his heart was under serious strain and acted immediately. Today, George is thriving. He walks daily, eats healthy, and feels better than he has in years. But he often says, "If I had kept pretending I was fine, I might not be here right now." So what's the takeaway? Start listening to your body the way you'd listen to someone you love. Pay attention to anything new. Chest discomfort. Dizziness or fatigue. Mood changes. Memory slips. Speak up. Don't wait. You're not being dramatic. You're being wise. Because when you tell the truth about how you feel, you're not only protecting your health. You're protecting your independence, your relationships, and your future. Final thoughts. Getting older brings a lot of changes. Some expected. Some are surprising. Some that make us stop and think. The 5 points we talked about today might seem simple on the surface, but they reveal something much deeper about how we choose to live after 70. This stage of life isn't about fading away. It's about becoming more intentional, more aware, and more protective of your energy, your time, and your well-being. If something in this video touched a nerve, that's a good thing. Maybe it reminded you that you've been carrying guilt for too long. Maybe you've been ignoring a health concern. Maybe you've been pulling away from people, thinking it's too late to reconnect. But here's what I want you to remember. It's not too late. Not even close. The biggest trap we fall into with age is believing that all the best choices are behind us. But what if the wisest, kindest, and most powerful decisions are still ahead? Choosing to care for your health instead of ignoring discomfort. Choosing to forgive yourself instead of holding on to old regrets. Choosing to reach out instead of hiding away. These aren't huge decisions. They're quiet shifts, but they carry incredible power. Not just for you. but for everyone who loves you. Because here's the truth. You are still writing your story. Every morning you wake up is a fresh page. And it doesn't have to look like yesterday. You can learn. You can change. You can heal. You can say no to habits that no longer serve you, and yes to things that make you feel alive. Life doesn't demand perfection. It simply asks that you keep showing up. With honesty. With hope. And with the courage to grow. Wisdom in old age isn't about knowing everything. It's about staying open. Curious. And brave enough to change what needs changing. That's what keeps you truly alive. So today, I have a challenge for you. Pick just one of the 5 points we talked about. Ask yourself. How is this showing up in my life right now? Don't let the years behind you cloud the possibilities ahead. Let them guide you. Teach you. But never let them stop you. Thank you for spending this time with us. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share just one thing you learnt or one small step you plan to take. Your thoughts matter. Your story matters. And your voice helps others feel less alone. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support helps us continue to create content that informs and uplifts our growing community. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.